So one afternoon when I was walking out of my finance class, I was waiting for my friend in front of the CVA, and I saw people pointing at the beach hut, and suddenly I saw a squirrel scramble, like run away from the beach hut, but it had something in its mouth, and it was like a Cliff Bar or a Bovita chip bar, I don't know what it was. But it took it near me, and then it went to the grass and started digging up a hole to place the Bovita chips thing, and I thought it was just really funny, and people were just looking at them for quite a while.
When squirrels come to mind, I think about every time I go by a fig bar, because you know those bars are purely just fruits and nuts, and squirrels, they love that type of stuff. And every time I go by one, I see squirrels walking by me, and I just started feeding them on occasion, and they loved it. One time, it was so obsessed with the little piece of fig bar that I gave it that it was in the middle of the walkway, and I almost got run over by a bike. It's probably never had that before, and it was like, oh man, what's this? This is some new stuff. Like, we don't have this back in the tree or something. So every time I buy them, I make sure I throw a piece here and there. And every time I feed one, another one comes out, and the brothers and friends come out, and sometimes they take too much of my bar. I only have like half a bar left, but it's all right, you know. The squirrels on campus are pretty funny, and I love them.
Okay, so I was on campus, and I was locking up my bike at the bike rack, and I was eating a granola bar, and this squirrel was coming up to me, and I was like, oh cute, like I'm gonna feed it, and I started feeding it, and it started eating it out of my hands, and it would reach up and grab it, and I was like, okay, cute. People were kind of watching me, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. So I put my granola bar in my pocket, and I looked down, and the squirrel just jumps up onto me, on my leg, and starts climbing me, and I just freak out screaming, and everyone's staring at me, and I just got on my bike and rode away. But I was absolutely traumatized. Its nails going into my leg was horrifying. So I avoided squirrels kind of after that.
So I live at the dorms on campus, and there's a nice grassy field by the hillside dorms, and I like to go out there and study on a blanket, and I always bring snacks with me. And one of my favorite things is that the squirrels will come over, and I'll hold out Cheez-Its and try to get them to come and eat my Cheez-It. And then every once in a while you can pet the squirrel on its head, but it's very dangerous. They are known to bite, and they have bitten me. But yeah, occasionally I'll feed the squirrels. They're my study buddies.
All right, so I mean, the squirrels at Long Beach are way too smart for their own good. You can see one or two sometimes outside the USU, and they'll just be waiting by the sliding doors, and they'll just start following somebody until they either give them food or they walk too far away, and they just go back and they just wait there because they just know that they could get fat with Long Beach students.